So you're mad a kids movie about space bears is childish? What did you expect? Star Wars, Ewok Adventures, Caravan of Courage, and the Battle for Endor. The made-for-TV films that were released in 1984 and 85 respectively. I figured you might not be able to endure 2 weeks in a row devoted to these films, but if you can bear with me, I'll Ewok you through both of these films as fast as I can. Starting with Caravan of Courage, directed by John Cordy from a story by George Lucas. Warwick Davis returns as Wicket the Ewok. Eric Walker plays Mace, basically discount Luke Skywalker, except he's pretty much useless and insufferably annoying. Aubrey Miller plays Sindel, and while her acting won't win any Oscars, she more than makes up with it in sheer cuteness. Peter Bernstein provided a whimsical score for the Ewok Adventures, which give both films a fun, light-hearted feel. Burl Ives narrates the film, and I have to say, growing up watching Rudolph every year, I always feel like I'm watching a Christmas movie when this film starts. When the Tawani family crashed their star cruiser on Endor, Mom and Dad searched for their kids who didn't stay with the ship. In true 80s kids movie fashion, this film deals with being lost and trying to find your family again. We get some E.T.-esque atmosphere as they search through the woods at night with their flashlights shining through the mist before Mom and Dad are kidnapped by the evil giant Gorax, whose head can be found in the trophy room of Ozek Stern in the Force Unleashed game. Sindel apparently just saw The Last Jedi because she's feeling incredibly sick, but the Ewoks cure her with some magic tree sap. George Lucas said, Star Wars was a space fantasy, but the Ewok films were always meant to be a fairy tale. The Caravan of Courage uses many fairy tale and fantasy elements, from evil giants who live in caves filled with giant spiders, to magic pools and Tinkerbell-like fairies known as Wispies. The film was never meant to feel like Star Wars, but instead was intended as an adventure film for small children. It even pays homage to Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, as the children must recruit a group of Ewoks to help them in their quest, one of which is introduced chopping wood like Heihachi from the iconic samurai film. After fighting their way through some cheap Halloween decorations, the kids and our plucky, fuzzy little heroes rescue their parents from the Gorax, who has them in a cage over his dinner table, again borrowing from classic fairy tales, and everyone lives happily ever after. That is, of course, until the sequel where Sindel's entire family dies in the opening of the film. Spoiler alert, by the way. The Battle for Endor was released in 1985, with the same returning cast, with the addition of Wilford Brimley as a grumpy but lovable old spacer named Noah. Jim and Ken Wheat directed the film. They also wrote the screenplay from a story by George Lucas. Joe Johnston was the production designer on both Ewok films, and from the Ewok village to Noah's hut, he provided a lived-in fairy tale environment that captured the storybook feel Lucas wanted. When the Ewok village is suddenly attacked, our two little heroes get in a sticky wicket when they are captured by King Tarak and his gang of discount Urukai called the Marauders. Sindel and Wicket escape and hide in a cave, but are soon attacked by a giant flying monster Harryhausen style. Phil Tippett, who animated the Tauntauns and tabletop chess match in the original Star Wars trilogy, worked on all the stop-motion creature effects for both Ewok films. Our two lovable little munchkins soon meet the Speedy Gonzales of the Star Wars universe, Teak, whose weird face looks more like it belongs to the Dark Crystal rather than an Ewok movie. But it was the 80s after all, and nearly every puppet creature was butt ugly back then. Teak leads Sindel and Wicket to Noah's hut, and here's where the film essentially turns into Space Heidi. Aubrey Miller's performance as Sindel and her interactions with Wilford Brimley as Noah are innocent and sweet. And in an age where everyone tries to be so gritty and hardcore, I must confess the sheer cuteness of these films was refreshing. One of King Tarak's minions in the film is a witch with some serious crow's feet named Charal. Fun fact, turns out Charal is a Night Sister like Asajj Ventress. Night Sisters are a sect of Sith witches from the mysterious planet Dathomir, which had dealings with Count Dooku in the third season of the Clone Wars series. They also put Humpty Dumpty back together again, when Darth Maul was beside himself with grief over being half the man he used to be. when Cheral can't get the power core to the Tawani family's star cruiser working for King Tarak. She kidnaps Sindel to help her unlock its secrets. After Noah's commando-style gear-up sequence, he, Teak, and Wicket set out to rescue Sindel and the captive Ewoks. And after barely escaping the castle, a large battle takes place between the Marauders and the Ewoks, giving Noah time to get his ship's power running so he can use the ship's blasters. The battle sequences in this film are surprisingly good for a TV movie geared at kids. With Noah's ship up and running again, he and Sindel head for civilization, promising to return and visit their friends one day. Now, people give the Ewok films a lot of crap for having horses and chickens and other earth animals in it, but there were snakes and monitor lizards on Dagobah, Jabba ate frogs, and Han's ship is named after a falcon. So I think there's room for horses in a galaxy far, far away. With all the magic, castles, and barbarian aesthetic of the Battle of Endor, the film feels more like He-Man than Star Wars, which was actually an intentional choice by George Lucas. You have to understand when it was made. In 1984 and 85, swords and sorcery were at their peak of popularity, with Dungeons and Dragons, the Conan films, and He-Man. In the end, Caravan of Courage and The Battle for Endor are two reasonably enjoyable films when you watch them as what they were intended to be. Fairy tale adventures for children. The Battle for Endor is by far the superior of the two films, and if you've never seen them but enjoyed the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, do yourself a favor and track them down. Just remember, they are kids' movies and you shouldn't take them too seriously. And when you stop to think they were both made for TV movies, the production value and special effects they were able to achieve were truly impressive, even if they don't hold up today. And hey, it could have been worse. We could have gotten 2 gun adventure films, so count your blessings. For their sense of fun, imagination, impressive effects work for old TV movies, the fairy tale aesthetic, and Aubrey Miller's adorable performance as Sindel, I give Caravan of Courage and The Battle for Endor 3 out of 5 Death Stars. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. Tune in next week as I review where it all started to go terribly wrong. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. This has been Vader Reviews. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And follow me on Twitter @Vader Reviews. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.